So, I'm here today at Titanite Hill. This is my final full day up north. So, this is the last spot I'm gonna hit for this trip. Just a note, if you ever do think of coming here, make sure your vehicle has high clearance and you're willing to get it a little dirty because the road is not well kept. But yeah, let's start heading in. I'm just gonna grab my tools. I'll just show you the walk-in. So yeah, basically Titanite Hill is it's a hillside with a whole bunch of calcite veins running through it, and those calcite veins get exposed to the elements and dissolve. And then what happens is that the other minerals and crystals that don't dissolve due to the elements drop down into the bottoms of these basically trenches, natural trenches that you have to dig through. One thing to note, because of how soggy, basically there's a mini creek running through the bottom here, especially after a good rainfall. There's going to be a lot of bugs, so bring lots of bug spray. Wear long sleeve shirts if you want to, or what I would recommend, because you're going to be digging through dirt and mud sometimes. Bring 2 sets of shirts, one to change in at the end, so that you're not wearing a super dirty, muddy shirt. But yeah, you can see where people have started to dig. You can see how the hillside is littered with stuff. One nice thing is if you come out here after a rain, you'll see all the stuff that people left behind. Let's see if I see anything interesting. Most of the time it's nothing too crazy that they left behind. I don't see anything super cool. But yeah, so what you can find here is apatite, green apatite crystals, a bunch of amphiboles, feldspar, I believe it's orthoclase, I could be wrong, I'd have to double check that one, and titanite, which is where this hill gets its namesake from. It's a pretty rare mineral. This crystal is almost like a shovel-shaped crystal. That's the best way to describe it. I've been here a couple times, and I have found titanite here before, but this is just a nice, easy site to collect that. So I thought I'd come by and just collect a little more, just because it's a nice and easy collection site. You don't have to do a lot of heavy labor, because really it's just digging through soil and sifting out stuff you want and you don't want. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Just kind of, when you're here, be careful, walk carefully, because you don't want to fall and injure yourself, because that is possible. There's steep parts on this hill, and just enjoy yourself, you know. Just always, just especially after a rainfall, just look down at fresh tailings piles, because sometimes people don't realize they have something nice and they just toss it over their shoulder, and you might find some real nice stuff. I've found stuff before that way. I found full titanite crystals in people's discard piles because they couldn't tell what it was through the dirt. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys if I find anything interesting. So, I already pulled out my first titanite crystal. Let me just clean it off a bit so that you guys can see what it looks like. Got my spray bottle. Just toss it here. I think this is just a piece. It looks like it's been damaged a bit. But I mean, it's a good sign usually if you see titanite. If you find titanite like this, and you can kind of see. So this is just a partial crystal. It's been broken along here, but you could see the shovel shape And it's just a very black, lustery mineral that is also very dense. Like it's a heavy piece, which is one way of telling if something might be Titanite, is if it's a heavy piece. But yeah, first Titanite crystal. Very nice. What's that? Just a bit of apatite, but it's broken. But yeah, this is what the apatite looks like. It's like a nice, almost Jolly Rancher green mineral. Be nice to find a big crystal of that, but that's pretty rare because they're quite fragile and they fracture very easily, especially here with the winter. Just the weather just destroys them. But yeah, I'll get back to you if I find more. So this is what I found so far. I found 2 more Titanite crystals. Small one and a medium-sized one, and then my larger piece of one. And then I found 2 pieces of apatite that I'm gonna keep. The rest of the stuff in this hole was not too interesting, so I'm gonna probably move up farther up the hill and see if I can find a fresher spot to dig. Anyways, I'll get back to you guys if I find anything cool. So, I'm at a new spot in the area. I actually dug at this spot before, but when I was here, only this section was exposed. But look what people have done now. They've just followed the fissure all the way up. But yeah, I checked out the spot because I collected here before, and I knew I'd found some cool stuff before, and sure than enough, got some nice apatite crystals, some interesting feldspar, and a bunch of titanite. Look at this. Just lying in the tailings piles. And some nice points. These 2 are some nice apatite points. So I'm gonna... Actually, I'm thinking of digging right here and basically seeing what's under here. Because, yeah, you can't really see well, but it goes pretty far down in there. And you can see kind of there. There's basically a fissure running like that, and then there's a fissure running like that. And that's what we're looking at right now. Ooh. Found another piece of titanite, I believe. This looks like titanite. I'll have to clean it off, but that doesn't, it definitely has the shine and it's got that heaviness to it. You can actually hear, you can see titanite right here. Nice little cluster right here, just in matrix actually. So you can see that there's just rictorite and amphibole and feldspar and apatite and everything in this thing. So I'm gonna dig around here and see if I can find anything interesting. But I'll get back to you if I do. So I decided I'm gonna try and extract this cluster of titanite that I saw. So far it's been working well. I'm hacking away around it, making a space around it so that I can hopefully just plop it off like that and extract it as a whole cluster on the matrix. It's very nice clean crystals, so hopefully I'll be able to extract them. But yeah, I'll get back to you once I have. So I extracted it. Did not come off with the matrix. The crystal where it was fused to the matrix, it fell off there. But it's still very nice. It's still a very nice cluster of titanite crystals. Nice and sharp, well defined. If I find anything else, I'll show you guys. But I think I'm gonna start digging along that trench now and just see what I can pull up. So I'm starting to widen this and kind of dig material from the side of the crevice, because anything that's going to fall down the face will fall down this way, so I'll fall down with that. So Most of the good material should theoretically be along this side. And I pulled out a couple more pieces of Titanite. This one's quite dirty. This is just like a corner piece. And then look at this huge monster of a piece. It's not full, but man, if it would have been, holy cow, that would have been my biggest Titanite specimen that I've ever found. Like, but look at this thing, it's huge. And it all came out from there. So I'm just gonna keep digging, and hopefully I got more. And maybe some nice apatite too. Who knows? I'm just gonna keep digging and see what I pull up. So I thought I'd do a little bit of an update on the trench. So I dug down a lot and into this trench, and I've been pulling out a decent amount of, they're all dirty, but these are all Titanite crystals. And then I also have some feldspar. Not a lot of apatite. A lot of the apatite in the at Tory Hill is just so fractured and broken, it's not even worth taking. But yeah, I'm doing pretty well with the amount of Titanites I'm finding. Lots of interesting little clusters and single crystals and stuff. So that's good. If I find anything super amazing, I'll definitely let you guys know. But that's it for now. So I thought I'd do a bit of a cleanup and just show you guys some of the nicer finds from my Titanite Hill trip. So I got pretty lucky, and I found a decent amount of. Let's try it. Yeah, there we go. A decent amount of Titanite. This is a bigger chunk. It's a half broken crystal. You can see Titanite is a black lustrous to dark brown lustrous mineral, and it comes in these. Its crystals usually come in these nice shovel-shaped, wedge-shaped crystals. Some of the nicer pieces include this cluster that I chipped out of a little pocket. A little nice double cluster. This strange little guy who's very elongated for a Titanite crystal, but he is a Titanite crystal. Where is he? I have another guy here. This guy. This very squat, not very wedge-shaped Titanite crystal, but I discovered that these do exist. They're just, it's rare to have Titanite in this crystal shape. So this was a nice find. It's actually it was in a discard pile of some previous digger, and I just saw the luster shining through. The sun was hitting it through the trees, and I saw the luster, so I picked it up. And it looked really weird because it definitely had like the luster, and it's very dense. That's one thing with Titanite. It's a very dense mineral, so it's quite heavy, and I could just see the shine off of it. Here's the largest chunk of Titanite I found. It's just like a broken large crystal. You can kind of see how it would have been. It would have been wedged this way. But yeah, this guy got was busted up pretty badly when I found him. Another nice one. Here's one of the nicer clusters I found. If it could zoom in properly. There we go. You can see all the little Titanite crystals all kind of growing together on this guy. Very cool little find. A nice little cluster of Titanite. And then this guy is really cool. So I mentioned how it's nice and dark brown. It can be a dark brown to black. It's a little hard the way I'm just gonna move this so that I can put my hands a little better down. You can see this nice little Titanite crystal. Oh, this guy, let's see if this works. It's already pretty bright, so I'm wondering if it's gonna work at all. Oh yeah, you can still see it. Ignore the fingerprints, but you can see it's not picking it up great, but you can see how this guy is actually, it's translucent around the edges, so this guy's actually that nice dark brown color. And you can see this is probably one of the more gemmier pieces I've found of Titanite at this location. Some other stuff includes some of the feldspar specimens. I picked up a couple because they would be nice to give to people or to keep myself, because there are a decent amount that I pulled off that also had clusters of Titanite on them. So that, and then there were just some that had some interesting shapes, like this guy is just a bunch of feldspar crystals fused together, and then he's got a little Titanite on the back. But yeah, that's the Titanite I found, and I'll quickly also show you guys a couple of the nicer pieces of apatite I found. Now, the apatite here, this one is terminated. It's a single termination. The other termination is missing. It's a broken point. But the terminations with most of the apatite at Titanite Hill, they're kind of like almost like best way to describe them is a melted candle. The crystals, most of the crystals didn't fully, they terminated, but their terminations weren't nice and clean. But I like this guy. This guy's just got a really nice color, and he's not too roughed up. So I took this guy home because of the color, and he's a little nice terminated point with minor damage. And here's a double terminated. This guy, you can see how the ends are just kind of very lumpy and not very nice, but this guy had an interesting shape to him, and the color on him was nice, so I took this guy home too. I've got other pieces of apatite, but those were the most interesting. But yeah, those were my finds. I found a lot of Titanite, some nice ones, but a lot of just broken pieces and stuff. But I found a couple decent ones. Here's an interesting one where it's starting to, it's got some other interesting white mineralization on it, like almost a gray mineralization. If you know what that is, please let me know. I assume it's something interesting. But yeah, there are just some very interesting, some very small pieces, small little clusters, and then you've got like the larger pieces. I didn't get a large whole crystal, that was my goal, but I got some decent sized smaller ones, so I'm still quite happy with my finds. And it really, honestly, any Titanite from Titanite Hill is pretty awesome. But yeah, if you guys like this type of content, please do like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And I will see you guys in the next video. So, unfortunately, John did not get back to me at all. I contacted him, and it's been a week, and he hasn't contacted me back. So I had to pick a new winner for my 100 subscriber giveaway. And congratulations to 365 Headhunter. You won! Headhunter is actually a bud of mine. We met on YouTube. He has a pretty cool arrowhead hunting / rockhounding channel. I definitely recommend you guys checking him out. He's a cool guy, and we've conversed for a while. I've been helping him out with identifying some of the rocks he finds, and he's been helping me out with my let's just call it lack of humor. You'll know what I mean. But congratulations, Headhunter. You are the new winner. I will contact you and get this giveaway package sent to you as soon as possible.